Hi guys, Mr. Rego here. Today's lesson, August 18, 2016, was on linear equations. The idea, and I explained during class, we're going to have the first slide when you come into class, you're going to have title, learning target, the toolbox, summary reflection, could be an exit ticket. On the right top side, you're going to have name, period, date. This is called Cornell notes, and many people use them. You can use them to stay organized. That's up to you. It's a good way to be organized. Scroll down, that keeps going basically. Okay, so what we did today was went over everything on this slide. The linear equations is going to be titled for a couple of weeks, and so you don't have to write it every single day on your notes. I expect this to be done on your notebooks, which means your binder. You have a notebook, that's fine with me. Your oh my god, the other notebook. Okay, forgot now. The learning target, student will be able to solve linear equations in one variable. That can change every day or every other day, every 2-3 days. Right now I'm going to say 2-3 days with this target because we're working on linear equations. Today our warm-up or bell work was to write the meaning of toolbox vocabulary in terms of math, basically linear equations. Give examples if possible. Isolate, we said that is when you leave the variable by itself, basically when you find the value of x. So when you have an equation, and I'm going to write an equation right here underneath. When you write an equation, it can have x equal, let me say 2x equals 10, for example. That's an equation. I can say isolate the variable, and the variable is the x. So isolate means leave by itself. Solve, same thing with solve. I can ask here, solve for x. So I can either say, let me see if I can write it. Solve for x. Okay, that'll be one question. Or I can say, which means the same thing, and let me erase that quick. I can say isolate the variable. Isolate the variable. Okay, and I'm asking the same question, which basically is find the value of x, which is another way how to ask for that. Okay. Linear equation. We said that linear equation is an equation that is going to give me a straight line when graph, or that is an equation then when I have in my exponent is 1. So right now here, and let me change the color of this thing, and I don't know what the color is, red. If I have this equation, okay, if I have that equation, my exponent for the x will be 1. If there's no exponent there, so the exponent is 1. So that means linear. Moving on. Coefficient is any value, the number that is in front of the x. So let me go back to that. Coefficient is the value. Coefficient is the value. So coefficient is the value that is in front of the x. In our case right now, the coefficient is a 2 because that's in front of the variable. The 10 is called a constant because it doesn't have a variable next to it. Now, moving on with the lesson. Here I have a short video which you will about equations, nothing major, and then I give examples, spin notes. These notes should be on your notebooks, on your binder. When I say notebooks, it's basically your binder. Okay, that's what I'm expecting. So I call it spin notes, and it steps to solve a two-step equation. Now I'll give an example. Solve the equation, -2x plus 10 equals 30. To solve this, the first step, as the spin note says, I gotta cancel whatever is adding or subtracting. In my case, this 10 is adding, so I subtract 10 here and 10 in the other side. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other side. Now 10 minus 10 is gonna give me 0. So I bring down the -2x And in the other side, 30 minus 10 is going to give me 20. Now, the second step, according to the speed notes, they say you got to cancel whatever's multiplying or dividing the variable or your coefficient. In this case, I have a -2, so I divide by -2 on the left and the right side of my equation. Now, -2 divided by -2 is going to give you 1. So I'm going to have 1x. In the other side, you're going to have 20 divided by -2, which is -10. I do not need to have that 1. Okay, so you can have the 1 or not. Moving on with another example, we have a parenthesis here. So we need to distribute. So the first thing I had to do is distribute that -5. So -5 times x is going to give me -5x, and that's a -5, I'm sorry. Now, -5 times -9 is going to give me negative times negative, give me positive. 5 times 9 is 45, which is going to be equal to 15. Now, as the previous equation, I got to cancel whatever's adding, subtracting. In this case, I have plus 45, so I'm going to do minus 45. Whatever I do on one side, I do in the other side of the equal sign. Look at my equal sign here. This is my equal sign. So this is one side, that's the left side, and this is the other side, and this is your right side. Okay, that's the idea. The equal sign separates the equation in two different sides, and that's what I'm doing. So if I do it on the left side, I do it on the right side, the negative 45. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now, 45 minus 45, that's going to give me 0. I bring down the negative 5x equals 15 minus 45 is going to give me negative 30. The following step, there you go. The following step is I have to cancel the coefficient, which is negative 5. Negative 5 is multiplying the x, so I need to divide, because negative 5, that negative 5 is multiplying, so I divide by negative 5, and in the other side by negative 5. The negative 5's cancel out. X equals negative divided by negative is positive. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Okay? Our last example. Some classes I got to this, some others I didn't, so, but I will. Now, we have an example now. Example number 3. I have negative 5x plus 6 plus 3x equals 40 minus 12. A bunch of stuff. So when this happens, I need to simplify. I need to simplify in each side. So that's what you have to do first. Simplify. Simplify means combine like terms. Combine like terms. Okay? Only like terms. So on the left side, here's my left, here's the right side. On the left side, I have x here and x there. So I got to combine those two. Now I go by whatever they have in front. Negative 5x plus 3x. That's going to give me negative 2x. Bring down the plus 6. And in the other side, I combine those two because neither one of them have an x. So they're like terms, they're constants. 40 minus 12, 28. That's an 8, by the way. Sorry about that. Now it's a regular and easy equation. Again, subtract 6 from both sides. Cancel out. Bring down the negative 2x. The other side, 28 minus 6. 22 most of the times. Now the negative 2 is multiplying, so I got to divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2 on both sides. And the negative 2's cancel out. X equals positive 22 divided by negative. Positive divided by negative is negative 22 divided by 2, 11. If you're not sure about the answer, you go back and plug it into the original equation. You plug it into here and there, and both sides have to be the same value. Okay, so that was the lesson for today, guys. Double check, study. I'll see you guys tomorrow.